Welcome to episode 3 of my Horde leveling let's play series. And I'm continuing where I left off from the last video. So of course I'm out here in the northern Barrens dealing with the Razor Mane that populates this area. And just to let you guys know, I do intend to go all the way to the max level, hopefully before the drop of the next expansion, so I can make this my main character for the battle for Azeroth. So we're doing the quest called the Far Watch Offensive and supplies for the Crossroads. We have to take back the supplies that they stole from us and also get rid of a couple of the people here. So these quests, they're basic general quests that you would expect. And from mining this ore, I actually got 500 experience, which is, it's not a lot, but it's a pretty good size that it helps you with the leveling process. And as you see in my spellbook, I actually just learned the ability called Flame Tongue, which will really help out the rotation and the combat, but for some reason, I didn't even notice it and I just kept going. I was too, distracted by the intensity of the combat. But just want to take a moment to listen to the beauty of this cavern. Now, as you can hear, it's pretty dead quiet out here, It's very soothing. Usually it's a lot of noise going on, you can't really think. But here is nice and quiet. Allows you to breathe, just calm down, it's a nice change of pace. Until, of course, you start fighting the Razor Mane again, in which you'll hear their squeals and their cries seconds before their death, which is pretty annoying. But anyways, in terms of the Crossroads supply crates, it's funny. They stole our supplies. They don't really seem to be using them at all. They just have them scattered throughout the cavern, just in the most random of places. And then you see these guys just standing around pretty aimlessly. It's pretty funny. And one thing I notice about leveling up in professions, I believe that's the best way to do it. Picking up a profession while you're at a lower level compared to picking up a profession at the max level for the first time. Because when you're questing out here, you don't really realize just how many of these reagents that you run into, I've run into plenty of these copper ore veins just everywhere. And before you know it, you can pretty much fill your bag in pretty quickly and sell them or use them, whatever it is you're trying to accomplish with your character. Whereas if you're at a max level and you pick up like mining, you're just then circling around these lower level areas and it gets redundant pretty quickly. So this is way more efficient in that you get it while you're questing, you kind of don't really notice it. And I guess you get a new character to add to your collection. So that's all the supply crates they had. And their leader was almost as aimless as all his minions over here. So here's the last guy chilling by the water. Nice sound from the water, kind of sounds like Minecraft a little bit. But anyways, that is the completion of the quest. And after that, they send me off over here, not to the Crossroads yet, but another little questing area where of course we'll have to deal with more Razor Mane individuals. So in this caravan escort quest, we have a pretty powerful shotgun that one-shots everything in existence. And then when we finally get to this little outpost here, of course given another handful of quests to deal with the Razor Mane scum surrounding the Barrens, Duratar, even into Mulgore. They're everywhere. They're so dispensable and annoying. So at this point, I was just trying to kill as many as possible, get to the next part of the quest. And this scene right here reminded me of The Walking Dead. Fighting one of them, it's not really a big deal. But once you fight a whole group of them, that's when things start to get a little crazy. As you see here, I had to drop a totem and start healing myself, get on the defensive end for like the first part of this character's career. Because this is a pretty tough fight. I don't know, I think it was like 8, maybe 9 versus 1. And yeah, my health went down to way below 20% health. So I actually got worried there. But in this little part, you'll see it was kind of a long fight right there between that last Razor Mane. It was awkward because I wasn't using my Flame Tongue ability, which would really help the rotation out. Because, these abilities go off cooldown pretty quickly. In melee, he's just swinging and you have nothing else to do. It can really extend the length of the fight. So I don't know why I didn't notice the ability sooner. That's embarrassing. Kind of slowed myself down. The next quest is to pound this chump to the ground and take him in for some interrogation. And for some reason, when you're dragging him off the floor, it looks really violent. Much more violent than it should be. So I take in this quest, I get an easy 3,500 experience, and then I'll get another 2,600 after I interrogate him.
For the Horde.
One thing I've noticed from past experience with this quest is that if you be nice to him from the beginning, like you feed him and then you talk to him, he's more willing to give you the information that you want. But this time I decided to be aggressive, so I was kicking him in the face, slapping him a bunch of times. He doesn't want to speak now. He's pretty pissed off and he says that he's too strong and that you can't break him down. But of course, eventually, after enough pain, he'll finally hit his point and say that you're wasting your strength and accidentally name off his leader. And of course, he said way too much. He gave us more information than he should have, and that will result in the completion of this quest. An easy 2,600.
What can I do for you?
So from there we get a nice handful of another quest to deal with even more Razormane individuals. So here is his leader who's riding a pretty cool mount. He has a raptor mount. I'm not exactly sure where he got that mount, but he must have killed a lot of people to get that. So the leader himself is not that tough, just another Razormane with better gear and I guess better fighting tactics. But his people are getting messed up by this shaman here. They're getting critted for like 400 damage and they go down like nothing. But of course, like I said before, these Razormane folk are pretty indispensable. Or not indispensable, they're pretty dispensable because they're everywhere. Just continuing on with this quest where I had to collect a total of 30 Quillboar tusks. And then I can also find the missing caravan Kodo, who's been captured by these Razormane. I won't leave him hanging out for so long. I'm on my way to save him in a little bit. But I was going over here just to check for the rare elite that usually spawns here. He looks like the mystics that you see, in the robes with the staff. And of course, like I said, I believe in the previous episode, how the rare elites, they give you a lot of extra experience. I'm not sure if it's the equivalent of a quest, but it gives you a really nice chunk of experience that speeds up the leveling process. Now I did say I kind of wasted my time in this scene here, because instead of fighting all these guys off to the side, I could have went to the Kodo who's missing, because it gives me a quest to collect 5 samples of wheat that they stole from us, 5 packages, and it's scattered throughout here, so it would have been fighting more Razormane than I had to, because I could have just killed these guys to get their tusks instead. But anyways, I fight all these guys, because of course I'm getting experience anyways. I'm at about 85%, so less than 15% away from the next level, of course, and I get it through this quest completion, which helps me get to level 14. And from here, I get the ability called Ancestral Spirit, which is a resurrection spell, bring people back from the dead. Now here are the 5 stolen packages of grain that I have to collect from these Razormane scum. And just like the Crossroads supplies, it seems like they just have it hanging around everywhere. Pretty much unprotected for the most part, because they are pretty weak. But it does kind of look like they may be using it to cook whatever they eat. Whatever Razormane people do. I'm not very familiar with their culture at all. I just know that there's a long hatred of hate. Or long, history of hatred between the Tauren and the Razormane. Because these guys are everywhere, You have to deal with them out there in Razor Hill. You'll see them throughout the Barrens. And they're even in Mulgore, in the beginning area when you are a Tauren. So these guys are pretty annoying, especially if you're a Tauren character. So for completing those quests, I hit 50 quests completed achievement on this character. And now it's time to finally move on to the main hub of the Barrens, which is the Crossroads. But again, here is another caravan escort quest, but this time you have the Burning Blade trying to steal our cargo. I wonder what exactly is on these kodos, you know, what's part of the cargo that's so special and important that everybody wants to rob us. I guess there must be gold in there or something, but yeah, everyone seems really focused on stealing our cargo. So here we are finally in the crossroads, and here's one of the elders for the Lunar Festival event. And they do give you 2,000 experience at this level, which is great because it helped me boost up all the way to level 15 with the completion of the other quests. And I finally unlocked the first set of talent points for this character, which I'll get to in the next episode. But for now is a great stopping point. Have a lot of stuff to do in the next episode. We've already done a lot in this one. So anyways, thanks for watching this video today. Thanks for listening. And I hope to see you guys in the next video, so stay tuned for more.